Government Degree College, Utnur. My name is G. Vijay, contract faculty, lecturer in computer science and applications. So, last class discussions control statements in Visual Basic. Control statements then take if control statements then will be take if then else and if then. This is the statements of control in give the last class discussions about if then else then and if. This is called as a control structures in Visual Basic in this topic. So this is the give the flow charts. So this was flowcharts. In given flowcharts, flowcharts give the example and decision making, give the variable and two numbers variable, comparisons of two numbers variable, then biggest values, more values can show the values in variable taken biggest variable value, then given values in uh, give the big value results. So this is the statements in if then if else and if. This is the statements. So today we have to discussions about statements statements in Visual Basic, uh, loops statements. Visual Basic loops statements: do, while loop, while end loop, end while, or do unit loop, do loop while, do loop unit, for next, for each next. This is the value, this is the structures of Visual Basic loops statements and give the example. So this is the loops statements. Loops statements, the major types of control statements in the loops. You use loops to perform a task in your programs. Three main types of loops supported by Visual Basic by continue loops and condition loops and enumerated loops and count of or for loop. There are three types of loops, main major parts in three: condition loops, enumerated loops and for loop. Perform a task a set of numbers of times. A conditions or do loop perform a task will a specified condition execute or unit a specified conditions or execute the conditions statements and give the results and take loops and natural numbers or odd numbers or even numbers and then take print reverse numbers and give the loops in the enumerated loops are used to perform a action on each items in a group of object. Perform a action in each items in a group of object. Each of the types of loops in decided in a give the variable take numbers and give the result. This is called as a loops statements. And then will be take give the for loop, do loop, while loop, do while loop. So do loop, a key features of a conditional loops is a is the condition any expressions that can return either true or false. So these do loops then conditions example that can returns either or true or false values. It can be functions such as a value of property, such as the value of property in option button, value of property in given option buttons or expressions, each as number value or greater than or less than or given or greater than number value or greater than 10 or number value less than 20. So this number, it's given two basic types of conditions is loops, such as a value of less than 15 or 10 or 20 or any numbers. Then take basic types of condition loops or the do loops, which a while loop conditions is true, and a do unit loops while is a conditions, it's a true value. So this called as a given give the functions is true or false in the conditions of given results. Using then take conditions value example. This flowcharts have given example. This do loops. Take first do loop. Find the first power of 3 largest number hundreds. Power of 3 and largest of number hundreds. Then hundreds. So give the variable values and loop statements. This called as a given loop statements, and do loops statements. The this is called a keywords. Will while in the do while statements till the program that the loop will be repeated while the condition expressions repeated value of while the conditions expressions is true. The programs in the loop will be repeated while the conditions expressions in true. The conditions do loop because false. Then program move to the next statements after the loop statements. The, the because a while loop do while loop, it's a false. Then take programs move on the next statements after the loop statements. You can use to forms in Visual Basic forms. Then take of these do while loops and different between the different between a variable take in the place of condition. You can the conditions either a beginning of the loops and the end of the loop, end of the statements. Then give the end of the statements. The first form of do loops place of conditions at the beginning of the loops as show. This called as a code property window, and given of this code window given this example. This is the largest of 3 numbers, and give the flowcharts of given this flowcharts of given. So this is the start button, and take the conditions given integer variable value, these conditions, and this one is a merge of given numbers, merge of given these numbers, and this one is the decision making statements, and given largest less than equal to 100 or greater than equal to 100, a triple then a product procedure value of given these statements. So this called as a product value of given, this value of merge taken given decisions of merge of value, then given or true or false, then take statements. So this one has given be decisions of making statements, and largest of three numbers 100 and largest of three numbers, this called as a given decisions of given numbers. Next one, this is called as a given statement. Loops statements. While loops continuations a conditions then take give the or value of greater than or less than, then value of taken greater than and less than, this called as a given or decisions of conditions in given loops. So this one has been do loop product greater than equal 100, greater than equal 100 product or greater than equal 100, this is the value. A product equal to product star 3 computer next to power of 3. For example, then given 2 to the power of 3 and given the multiplications of 3 comma 1 comma 2 comma 3, this is called as a power of 3, then given of product to power of 3, then power of 3, then given then power of 3 given, this called as a given of value in loop statements, and given power of, for example, then take values 2 to the power of 3 into 3 2 into 2 into 2, so this is 2 to the power of 3, 2 2 ja 4 4 2 ja 8. This is called as a given of value of 8. This is the power of 3, then given 2 to the power of 3, then give multiplications of given this value. So this called as a power of value. Then take loops statements or loop statements, and loops, do loops or while loops statements. So while loop product greater than equal to 100, product equal to product greater than equal 3 power of 3, and power of 3 is a end while. This is called as a end while. This is called as a given end while loop. So this one we have to take less than equal to 100 and given below print the 100 number. This is the given of loops statements. This called as a loops and while loop. So loops flowcharts then given conditions and decisions of making or given numbers in conditions are less than equal to 100. So 100 numbers 1 to 100 members, it's a print less than. So this called as a given loops statements. This is called as a given loop statements. So so the loops conditions in the do statements tell the programs, this take the programs you want to evaluate the condition before the run any statement and inside the help. If the condition is true, the statements between the do statements and the loop statements are run, then the programs is returns to give the absolutely value can give loops. And for example, then take value is less than equal to 100, then given the print the numbers in loop statements, then value of given loop statement must be presented in values. The form of the loops statements inside the loop to be run in the given result if the conditions is a false before the loops is run the first times, the program just procedure to the statements after the given loops. These loop statements in given particular conditions, then variable given variable. So this variable and particular numbers and print the loop statements evaluation result. So this is run do loops and do while loops. The power of given loops. So do loop. Write a Visual Basic procedure that all the programs to run a conditions or a set of conditions is met. This procedures is now as a looping. A loop is every useful features in Visual Basic because a make the programs. There are kinds of loops in Visual Basic or loops, do loops, for loop and while end loops. This is called a given of loops statements, this program. So the given above example programs are flowcharts are programs in computer or given number, it's a less than equal to 100 in given in print the natural numbers. The design, you need to insert a list box or set of box or any, then will be take in these forms for a display the output named list. The programs use a add items methods to populate the list box. The statement list addition items is a variable, then take some values and given variable name and give the variable name values will be display in the list box. So it create the some programs and given handling variable value and given sum of numbers, then take variable values in these programs. You must write down in carefully. We have to give the example programs, then use a loop in such as a because a main parts of given a condition loop statements between do and loop statement will be executed with the first check the loop conditions. We have to first check the conditions in loops statements. Then loop statements given these conditions and another then will be statements, and there are these statements it's a false and give for next to conditions and go take this and next to statements. So this is the conclusion of this flowcharts given programs. So this is the check the loop conditions. For example, the functions or give the result it's a true before enter a loop, the error of given typing to a correct record and given absolutely values. This called as a given while loop conditions. Then statements do loops statements because doing the successfully given or example programs in this take this loops and loops statements while loops. So this is called as a do unit statements. Do loops, do while loop statements. So the given example, write down given example program count equal to count 1 equal to count 1. A loop count greater than 100, then existing the loop. So this is called as a given of given loops count and maximum 100 numbers then given do. So this one is do loops and do loops then take values of given integer value. Example of programs: dim sum comma in a variable as integer, private sub form underscore actives. Then let's one dot add item single quotation n double quotation close double quotation and VB tab and sum. Then will be give do, then will be give the do n equal to n plus 1, sum equal sum plus n minus resize. A list add item n and VB tab if n equal 100, then exit do and end if and loop and end sub. end sum. This is called as a given program. This example, in the above example, we are using this given 100 numbers. Every times we have to add 100 numbers, 1 1 1, given 100 last design in this need of given and this example programs. So list box in the form of displaying in output, give the named list. This is the do while loops in this given do while loop statements. So thank you.